So in this video, I'm going to show you how I use Photoshop Actions to streamline my illustration process. I basically just use them to fill in shapes, but it makes everything go so much faster. So what Photoshop Actions are, it's basically a tool within Photoshop you can use to record a sequence of steps. And this can be used for a lot of different things. Like it can be used to like batch edit photos and other stuff like that. But just to show you kind of how I use it. So most of my files are set up basically like this. I'll have my background layer, and then I'll have, depending on like what I'm doing, I usually have a bunch of random layers, but I'll have like my line art on one layer, and then I'll have a layer below that for if I want to color in below the line art. So you could use the fill bucket tool to fill in stuff, but then it makes it harder to change, to like edit things down the road. And because you're using a raster program and not a vector program, when you use the fill bucket tool, you're going to get this like gross white line. And you can try to like keep clicking, but it just never really looks great. Let me just undo that. So you can color in on a layer below that, but this can take time to, it takes time to do that. So I have a Photoshop action set up so that I can just make a selection of what I want to fill in, and then I can just press this button and it will automatically fill it in with my foreground color that I've chosen onto this separate layer. And then it's really easy to like, edit that color and do whatever. And then I also have a Photoshop action set up for if I want to fill a shape that's like on the same layer. So if I'm not trying to edit anything, like let me just draw this new shape, let's say. And I just want this to be the same color inside. So I'll just make a selection, and then I have this other one. It just saves me some like coloring in time basically. But it will just automatically fill in that shape. So I'm just going to show you how you can record a Photoshop action. So I'm just going to make 2 new layers, and on the top layer, I'm just going to draw, I'm just going to use my paintbrush tool, and I'm going to draw a circle roughly. And to pull up the actions window, if you don't already have it pulled up, you can go to window and then actions. And I'm going to use my magic wand tool, which you can get by hitting W. And I'm just going to click inside the circle to select the inside of it. And now we can begin recording our action now that we have made our selection. So you can just press the create new action button, which is the box with the plus sign in it, and then just hit record. And then now it's recording everything you do within the document. So I'm going to go to select, modify, expand, and I'm going to expand the selection by 4 pixels. And this will just make sure that there's no weird gap between the line art and the color beneath. And then we want to select the back, we want to like go backwards in our layers, and you would think you would just click on it, but the way that the program is recording it, it just won't record it right. So what you actually have to do, I'm just going to use the shortcut for it, but I'm just going to press Alt and then the first bracket key, and then that will select the backward layer. And then you're going to go to Edit, Fill, and just going to do foreground color, and then click OK. And then I'm going to do Select, Deselect, and then I'm going to press Alt and then the close back bracket key just to bring us back to the forward layer. And then you can hit the stop button, and then that's all you have to do to make the same kind of action. So now, just to show it how it works again, I can draw any shape, and then I can fill it in with whatever color. And instead of having to do anything, I can just press this button and it'll fill it in automatically. And then to make an action for filling in the same layer, I mean, you basically do the same thing. You're just not switching between layers. But yeah, the actions are really easy to make, and I think they can be real time savers.